So hey there guys, my name is Ginger, I'm from Sparky Ink Studio in Chesterfield, and I'd like to welcome you and introduce you to our next lot of sessions that we're going to be running. Starting this week, these sessions are hopefully going to continue way down the line, but we wanted to sort of get something started now during lockdown. And get people sort of sharing ideas and having a go at different things that they might not have had a go at before. So at the start of each video you will have an equipment list. So for today you will need to make sure that you have a PC, you will need a mouse and a keyboard, and if you use a drawing tablet then you might decide to use your drawing tablet as well. And that's the main things that you will need for your equipment list for today. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so the program that we're going to use today, you will be able to use this on Windows or on a Mac or on a Linux operating system. Okay, I will be using Windows, so if you're on any of the operating systems you will need to follow the instructions for those. Okay, but I'm assuming they will be the same. Okay. The first things that we need to do is we need to get into Google. As you can see, what we need to put in here is something called Piskel or Piskel, and that's spelled P-I-S-K-E-L. Okay, now it's brought up some stuff that I was looking at because I was looking at specifications earlier on, but I want to go for this one which just says Piskel like that. And when it opens up, it'll bring up this, which is the app. This is the address, www.piskelapp.com or piskelapp.com, and it is, as you can see, a free online Sprite editor. Now Sprites are what you use in game design development, so we may come back to Piskel at some point in the future. We do use it at the studio. It's really cool little application to use, and because it's free, it's open source, anybody can use it. You can download it if you want to, but today we're not going to download it. We're just going to click on it and it's going to open this page, and this is the sort of introduction page for Piskel. Now what you're going to see is some things that other people have done here, some little llama jumping about, which looks really cool. We've got Mega Man running here, and you can see all the different sprites here to make him run. And you can see here you can sign in, so you can make an account if you want, or you can just do what we're going to do today, and we're just going to click create sprite, and it is going to open up this page, which is the desktop that we're going to be working in today. So this is the workbench that you're going to be working in, and I'll take you through the things that we're going to use today. So we're not going to use this side as much, but we may use a few things on there. We're going to actually use this part here. So you see here there's frame 1, which is this one here, and you can add a new frame. You've got frame 2 there, add a new frame. So we're going to be using that as our workbench. Secondly, we're going to be using the pen tool, and we may use different size nibs depending on what we need to do. We'll also be using the vertical mirror tool. This does this, which is really cool. So you can create lots of funky things. If that sort of looks like a bit of a wolf, I guess, going on or something there. Looks quite good actually. So you can create lots of different funky things like this. And if you make mistakes, the things you can just mess around like this, which looks really cool. I might keep this guy, actually, I quite like him, I might. And that's the thing, sometimes you can draw something by accident and it actually looks quite good. Yeah, I might actually keep him. Right, so I'm actually going to keep him, that's cool. So I've already drawn him, so I've already shown you what to do. All you do is you left click on here, then you left click and you just drag it around to find out exactly what you want. Okay, so the next thing that you might want to do is you might want to change colour. So you might want to use the bucket to change colour. So we're going to click on the bucket, and if you've done sort of lots of different stuff before, then you'll know exactly what all this stuff does. But if you haven't, then the bucket will fill lots of stuff up for us. So we're going to click on here and we're going to choose a colour. I'm going to go for a grey colour, just for now, just to use. And then when you've clicked on that, you can click on here and it will colour in everything that you want it to colour in that you click on. Oops, if you click on the black lines, this is what will happen. Now, if you don't want that to happen and you don't like the look of that, then if you click Control and Z, then you can take it back to the position it was in before. You can use the eraser if you make a mistake somewhere else, but if you make such a mistake like we've just made then, Control and Z is the best way. Okay, so I'm just going to finish colouring these in. Okay then. Right, so the next thing that we're going to do, I might just colour the eyes in as well. So this is the eraser tool. You can click on there and that will erase things. And if you don't want that erasing, you can press Control and Z and that brings it back to what it was. We won't really be using any of the other ones for now, but we will use the colour picker because there might be parts of this where we need to change the colour. The other thing we may use is the onion skin. And we may change the frames per second. I've not actually planned the drawing that I'm going to do, but I quite like this because it sort of looks, I don't know, it looks a bit like a wolf at the beginning, but now I think it looks more like an elephant. I don't know what it looks like. So what we're going to do next is we're going to do a little bit of cleaning up with this. So I'm going to choose another colour. And let's have a bit of a ready colour. And then all I'm going to do then is I'm just going to do a few little things a bit different, just to highlight a few areas. It might be that it's got red toes for some reason. You can really let your imagination go wherever you want it to. You know, at the end of the day, this is your picture. You can make a decision on what you want it to look like and how you want it to sort of play out. You know, there's no right and wrong way of doing anything on here. This is all about what you want. Okay, he's got a green eyes though. I'm going to do some more sort of dark red type. I like the red colour, so I think I'm going to have a bit more red on him as well. So I'm going to colour these in. And it's sort of, the more that you do, you can sort of, you know, check out different things on here and try and sort of make it look a little bit shaded maybe, or you know, and it might be you don't like the colours that you're using. You might think, well, I'm not really keen on that colour, what is it that I'm doing here? You know, I've no idea what I'm doing, and you'll be joining club because I have no idea exactly what I'm wanting to do on this picture either, but it's coming on, so I'm just going to keep going with it and putting lots of different colours and things on and just trying some different things out just to sort of make it look a bit different. I might just fill that with red. It's really bright that, but I quite like it, so I'll stick with that. And then we'll go down to this sort of colour here and put a little bit up there. I need to decide what colour I'm going to do his face, but I think I'm going to do a few, oops a daisy. I don't want to do the paint bucket, so I'm going to press Control and Z and go back. I'm going to get this one. And I'm going to do some sort of stripes on his nose, I think. He's now looking a bit like a, I don't know what he looks like. I think it looks quite fun, so yeah. I might have to do something a bit more with his legs, I don't know. Yeah, quite like that. Okay, so I might just do a little bit darker. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so we've done that. I'm going to do something with the background because we want it to look a little bit different. We don't really want this grey stuff. Let's just have a look for something else. So I'm going to do a little bit of a background here, and we'll just choose black for now. And then I'm just going to, in fact we won't choose black, we'll choose green. And we'll make it so that he's sort of got a green background going on. I think that's lovely. Yeah. I'm going to just get the bucket and just paint that like that. And that means then I can do the top in a blue. So it's a really cool blue. That one's a nice one. I like that one. There you go. So it's nice and bright. So just going to this part. So we've got our character, and what we're going to do is just going to make him jump about a bit, basically. So he might look pretty cool jumping around. So what we're going to do is we are going to add a new frame, and you can see this goes crazy over here. You can turn this down, so you can turn the frames per second down, and that makes it a bit slower, a bit easier on the eye. Click on the onion skin, and you can see now that he's like a ghost underneath. So the one thing that we need to do first is we need to create the background again. So we're going to use this, and we're going to, oops, today's I can just do it all, and then what we need to do is get the pen, go and get the green, and then just put a line across like that. Get the paint bucket and just cover that in green. So at the moment now, what you can see is the ghost of our character, and we've just layered a background over it. So if I take the onion skin off, that is just the background. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this a couple of times because we're going to use a few backgrounds, so we might as well have it a few times. So back to number 2. So sorry, we're going to go back to number 1 now. And what we're going to do here is we are going to copy this so that we can move it, so we don't have to draw it all again. We're going to copy it and put it onto number 2. So the way that we're going to do this is we're going to click on the lasso tool, and then we are going to hold down your left button on your mouse and then just sort of ground your picture. It doesn't matter if you go over the background slightly or anything like that, that's not a problem. You just need to make sure that we've got your picture in there so that you can move it. Okay, like that. And you'll see it's all on that colour. And then what we're going to do then is we're going to click Control and C, which will copy it. Okay. And then we're going to move to number 2, and then we're going to press Control and V, and that will drop that in place. Now we want to move it, otherwise we would have might as well just copied this one. So we do want to move it, and the way to move it is we need to press the Shift key on the keyboard, which is the one with the big arrow on it, and push this up like that. I mean, you can put it anywhere you want. You could have it over here if you wanted, and then drop it. There you go. Now what you'll see is that we've got a little bit of dead pixels here that we don't need anymore, and the grass has got higher up. So if we put on the onion skin, we can see exactly where the grass needs to be. So that's our first task. So we're going to click on the pen tool. We've already got the green, and then we're just going to go along and make sure that we've got the grass where we want it. And I'm just going to cover this as well. There's a bit of grass here that we need, and then we need to get the blue. Now we can just click on the colour picker, which is that one, back to here, and because we need to make sure that we put it where we want it, we're going to do it with a pen for this bit here, so we go in the right place, and then we can get the bucket and we can finish off with the bucket. Okay. So now what you can see now is that our little guy is moving around, and there's some blank frames as well because we've done this. So we're going to do this again, okay, so that you can get the hang of it. So we're going to use this one here. We're going to click on the lasso tool, and we are going to go around this little guy with the lasso tool. Now what we've got here now is a bit of a problem, because if we do this, we're going to lose part of his little top of his head. So if you can see here, we're going to lose that, and we don't want to lose that. So we're going to click back off the lasso tool, and we're then going to go instead and go back to the first one, take off the onion skin, and click back onto lasso, and then just do the same again. Now it will save it in the memory bank for you, so you possibly will be able to just click on paste, and it will be there again. but it might not be. So we'll just do it again anyway, because this, if you do it, the more times you do it, the more times you'll remember how to do things. Okay, so we've got them like that. We're going to click Control and C, and then we're going to go to frame 3, and we're going to press Control and V, and then we're going to press the Shift key and press the left button on the mouse, and we're going to move him somewhere else. So I'm going to move him over here, like that. And then we need to tidy up these dead cells like we did before. So again, we'll get the blue one, get the pen. Oops, I've gone over there, which I didn't need to. That does need to stay green. Everything else looks okay. So then we can get the bucket. We can do that. And then we're going to go and get the green now and use the green on here like this. And they're all okay. So we can get the bucket again. Click on there, and it's fully on. So now you can see he's jumped from there to there to there. We'll do one more frame, I think. So I think it'll be real cool. Now we'll try and see if it'll remember that we've already done the copy. Okay, so I'm going to click on here, and then what I'm going to do on here is I'm going to press Control and V, and it has remembered him, but it has put him into the same position as what he was originally in, and that isn't the position we want. So we need to change him. And now I don't know whether if we click on him, which I don't think, whether it will want to move him. So I'm going to click Shift and the button on here, and it's not doing anything. So just click back off there again. Click back onto things. So we're all going to have to copy him again to get him to move him. Okay. So let's go around him and copy him like this. Okay. Oops, daisy. Around there like that. Okay. And what we're going to do now is we don't need to copy him, and we don't need to paste him anywhere on this one. All we need to do is move him. So we're going to press Shift and then the left button on the mouse and push it to wherever we want to put him. I don't know, I might put him right up in the air up here. Let's see what that looks like. Okay. You can see it's quite high up on there. So we need to tidy up this bit again. So tidy up all these dead pixels. They're not really dead pixels, but it's just an easy way of saying what we're doing. Okay. Get the bucket, cover that in, get the pen, get the blue colour. We need to go over the green ones with the blue. Like that, and then we can get the bucket and it'll fill the rest of it in for us. Okay. So he's looking pretty cool. And I mean, the faster you do him, as you can see him jumping about there like that, there's some crazy stuff going on. And that basically is how you would animate a character and get him actually moving around. Now you could then put some wording on if you wanted to. Doing wording on pixels is quite difficult sometimes, but it's not impossible. So you could put some wording on if you wanted to. You could write whatever you wanted to on there. You know, if you get a colour that you like or whatever, you know, you could put, you know, put Sparky Ink on there if I wanted. Or I could just put Sparky. But it will only be on that frame. Oops, daisy, that one's a bit wrong, but I'll come back to that in a minute. K's and R's are always a pain in the neck to do. Okay, but then what I can do, if I want to get rid of that, I'm going to click on there, take a sample of that green one there, and then I'm just going to take that one out. I think that'll look okay like that. So there you go. That's basically how you make a little animation on here. Now we don't need this last frame, so I'm going to get rid of that and delete that frame. Then what you can do then is if you click on here, it'll say preview, open pop-up, preview in pop-up. So I'm going to click on there and it opens another box over here. Now you won't be able to see that box because I have to share it again with you. There we go. And as you can see now, he's jumping about, yeah. he's jumping about quite lively. He's a bit too fast, and there's a lot to look at because of all the colours that he's got. There is quite a lot to look at, so I'm going to stop that and open this. So I think we need to slow him down a bit more. He's a little bit too fast, a little bit too hyper. I think that looks okay. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to now save it. Now there's lots of places to save this, but we're just going to save it today. We're going to export it and we're going to download it as a GIF, and then you'll be able to use it as a GIF. I can see, you might not be able to see, but on yours, when you save it, it'll come up at the bottom in your downloads. We're also going to upload it as an animated GIF to a public URL. So when we press that, it then makes our image, and it is then, you can click on here and it'll take you to where the image is online. I can show you that now. So that's where the image is online. So you can see that's the full address, and you could then copy that address and put it somewhere. Okay, so we've done that, so that looks really cool. If you save the GIF, that's what you need to do, because the moment you come out of this program, because you're on the browser, you will lose everything that you've done. So you need to save it as something so that you can go back to it. Okay, so the other thing that I'm going to do as well, I'm going to click on PNG. I'm actually now going to save it as a sprite sheet. Now it'll only be quite a small sprite sheet, it won't be massive, but I want to see what it looks like as a sprite sheet. So I'm going to just open that, and then I can show you the sprite sheet. And you can see, if you do a lot of sprites, if you did loads and loads and loads, you'd have a lot more, but we've only done 4. So you've just got the 4 that you've done, and you can see the different ways that they've done things. So that's the first one. We jumped up a little bit to this side, we went to this side, and then we went quite high, and then it came back down again because it would have gone back to this bit, and we put some wording on. So that's all the sprite sheet is. Sprite sheets can be used, so if you're making a character, for example, you would make lots of different views of that character. So you could make a front view, back view, side view, above view, below view, depending on what the character was going to be doing. So if you were doing it, using it for a game, that's how you would do it. And that's something we maybe look at that at some point in the future, because I'm sure there's a lot of people sort of interested in how to make games and different things like that. So it might be that we get the chance to do that. Okay, so just get back here. Okay, so we've saved it now as a sprite sheet. We've also saved it as a GIF. If you decided you wanted to make it into an animation, you wanted to edit it, then that's something else that is a little bit more complicated, but it's something that we could look at another time. I do really like this program, so it's something that I'm going to come back to and do lots of other things on it. There's absolutely loads of stuff we could do on here, and I quite just like it that you can do really fun, fast, experimental animations, which, you know, this sort of thing is just really cool. You can actually change a lot as well. There's lots of things you can change when you resize it. It'll look different. So if we resize him now to, oops, there's a bit too much. I don't understand that and I'm not like it. If we did this, oops, see what it looks like. Oh, look, it looks completely different now. So he's really stretched out and the canvas is more stretched. But the one thing that will happen is when you stretch your canvas, your pixels look different. So you'll be able to get thinner lines like this. So your lines could get a lot thinner, you can do a lot more things that you want to do. So it's easier if you're drawing people or anything like that. So that's another thing that we'll perhaps do next time. We might look at drawing a person so that we can sort of get the idea of how to draw things in a little bit more detail than what we've done here today. So yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed this. This is just a real beginner taster of this little program. Like I say, it's a free to use program. Get on it, have a go on it, have a mess about in it. Don't forget to save things. Like I say, I've never actually saved anything other than GIFs and sprite sheets at the moment, but there is other things you can do in here. So you might want to look a bit further on it. You might want to have a look at the tutorials that I think the company that own this this piece of software, they might have got some tutorials online somewhere that you could have a quick look at. But yeah, great, good luck. So thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, give us a like and a subscribe. We will be doing lots of other videos, lots of different stuff that we're going to be doing. We'll be releasing them every Wednesday, so hopefully you'll be able to get on and have a quick look at stuff.